It's once in a while you get a game as special as Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a game that beautifully balances a cinematic story, deep character and relationship development, all with worthwhile gameplay that keeps the content coming, with its story managing to feel as good as, if not better than, recent anime movies I've seen, thanks to the pure amount of heart in it, all while rewarding the player with new classes and constant things to do that make the game side of it feel great too, featuring a worthy band of heroes to fight for and an epic story with themes of life and death that make you want to do everything in it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 walks forward as a masterful modern JRPG that shows what in-depth storytelling with gameplay to build it up can do to make a world well worth every hour spent in it, and should be remembered as a hallmark of what JRPGs and Switch games can do to tell a masterpiece of a story in a constantly engaging world. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is set in the world of Ionius, a world characterized by fighting and living to fight, with its people born for the sole means of fighting and collecting lives to fill their colony's respective flame clock to survive. Aside from being set with the task of war, they're also unique beings that can only live 10 short years known as terms, and if they're lucky to survive their 10 terms, they're honored with a homecoming ceremony to return to their queen as they die, with some passing sooner hopefully being sent off by officers, a more peaceful role in the war that strives to mourn the lives of the dead. Regardless, in this world there's no living beyond those 10 terms and not much to do aside from fighting that leaves Ionius feeling like a hollow world unlike its hopeful name. It's in this world you play as Noah, an officer from the Kavess region's Colony 9 that is sent on a mission with friends Lance and Uni to intercept an airship where they end up meeting other main characters Mio, Senna, and Tyon from the Agnes region, where they proceed in their natural goal of fighting and obtaining lives for their respective colonies until they're interrupted by a mysterious man and a ruthless monster. The man urges them to journey to the city on the Great and Distant Sword March, where they can find hints to who the supposed real enemy is rather than fight each other. And since this mission results in them becoming considered enemies of their own respective colonies, the group is left with no choice but to team up and do it. This begins their journey across this stunning world where the epic journey of their lives begins, with themes of humanity and romance abound to make the group well worth fighting for as you find out more about this complex world. If you played Xenoblade before, you'll know that Monolith Soft's sprawling worlds are something to behold, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is no different, with Ionius landscapes full of beautiful scenery and great heights leaving plenty to be discovered as you explore its big open-feeling world. To my delight, it can have the same addictive gameplay loop that I loved from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that had me instantly love this third entry. One second you can be playing the main story, next thing you might be running into a quest that can net you a hero that can help your party, or simple things like treasure and battles, but it seems that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 understands that it does this, and has even more things around to help you stray off the main path and have an MMO level of things to distract you as you play. There are resource drops to intercept, raging battles to choose a side in, and more that make the world of Xenoblade 3 feel like there are constantly things happening, all supported by the colonies themselves when you visit them, with NPCs always having something to say about what's going on in the world as you visit, and many times even these things evolving into quests or relationship changes that you can track on the affinity chart that can even lead to mini collection quests of its own that means you're never short on things to do in this big world. And compared to 2, I didn't have many hiccups with any of the smaller quests that make me feel their goals were clearer in this entry, that kept the fun constantly going and going, that made it feel like I was in a very bustling and lively world. Aside from enjoying the gorgeous areas in this quest, thanks to evolutions in combat, I particularly enjoyed hero quests in 3 that give you classes to swap in and out of while adding plenty of variety to battle that not only give characters new things to wear, but also work in a new way to make the most of Xenoblade's unique active auto attack based system that I eventually came to like even more than the blade system of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as all the characters can use them. The hero quests themselves are also a treat for fans of stories and JRPGs, as not only do they eventually bring those classes into play, but they tell sizable stories of their own with ascension quests to keep them going, and many helping to complete the backstory of the wonderful main cast that always made me happy to do them, and whether it was finding a likable new character, new class, or a new cinematic moment to marvel at, they always felt worth it, to the point where it'll be my goal post-game to complete the few I have left. If classes weren't enough to keep things varied in battle, there's also the interlinking system where Xenoblade 3's pairs come together to create combined forms to fight with more power, and these, along with chain attacks, can be the secret to winning harder battles, especially with how they can use Xenoblade's combos and specials to get an edge on enemies. In the active part of battle, timing when you cast your attacks is key to making combos cycle into each other other to battle effectively that can unlock interlinking levels faster, with each level corresponding with more power. Once you're in that mode, you can choose to dish out attacks until you can cast your special, or if you've built it up enough, use a chain attack where you have a bit more control, with battle slowing down into something that feels more turn-based where you can make magic really happen with this, with being able to get damage multipliers above 1000% if you cast your stuff right. Changes in music and visuals work to keep this all very exciting, and all the systems working together meant there was never a dull moment in battle, and with all the big giant monsters that rattled my Joy-Cons to look forward to taking down with these systems now that I'm strong enough, I enjoyed them enough to look forward to doing this. That is a first for me in this series that makes me feel like it's probably the most polished entry yet. And this isn't even to mention what I consider to be its hallmark, which is its story that moved me and made me laugh more times than I can count. The cinematic feeling of its scenes, complete with gorgeous visuals and music, make it feel a cut above other recent JRPGs in terms of storytelling, especially with the length of some of these scenes that can admittedly be long, but since it's on Switch and very easy to put into rest mode, they feel like an absolute treat when you have time, and feature the kind of pacing and depth that make it feel closer to a movie than a story event in a video game that make for a wonderful experience. Then there are the characters that grow so much from their reluctant teaming up at the beginning until the end, complete with tender feelings and even romance that made me want everything for all 6 of them and their friends, all boosted by the charming way they've been performed and localized in English that has every line hit exactly as it should, that is the cherry on top of a high-quality story experience. Between the world, its beauty, and fun exploration, the whole game is a testament to how fun and deep a story-driven JRPG can be, both in terms of its massive story that took me over 80 hours to get through, with some hero quests and other sidetracks naturally thrown in, and also thanks to the quests that build its world further to make everything hit harder as these special 6 characters go through some truly hard-hitting trials merely trying to keep living in this world. I want to spend more time with it, but at the same time I also find my time with it was perfect, even if there's more I can do, and it's a story I feel will stay with me for a long time, with how the whole experience made every hour in it feel so worth it. I mentioned still having things to do in Xenoblade Chronicles 3's world, which I'm sure will be common for most people who finish the game, and while 80-something hours is plenty to put into an experience, I feel I still have at least a little more time to give this great game. Completing my classes menu with hero quests will be one of those things, both to see the rest of the storylines within, and to see little things like the costumes and chibi illustrations in the menu, and of course how the classes themselves play, so that will be my main priority as I play the post-game, with my first post-game hour already having seen me done one, and naturally get sidetracked by meeting different colony members and starting other quests that have added plenty more to do if I feel like that too. This plenty more includes other quests and finding treasure, with there even being a way of traversal that I've yet to unlock that I'm curious about. I'm not sure I'll do these particular things, as I prefer just running into quests and then doing them then, so I don't have any plans for that in particular, but I am keen for all the little things I'll run into during my own personal main quests, and there's also a bit of me tempted by the New Game Plus option, which it kindly has, that I'll hopefully get into at some point too. Much like Xenoblade 2, we can look forward to things like expansions, with its final expansion pack set to be of a similar length to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 expansion Torn in the Golden Country that I loved, and the expansion also promises more of those great hero quests, so while that is a paid option for more content, the fact that side stories for each main character were already included in the main game, along with everything else, has me feeling like these DLC ones will in fact be extra content for those who want to keep playing like myself, and in any case, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is certainly not shy with the amount of content it has for a JRPG fan who loves a good story. I'm excited for what's to come next for this game and series, and I hope those who haven't played it or are still playing take their time to enjoy this JRPG story for the ages, with all the countless things to explore and enjoy that can keep you very busy in a great game for a long time. I expect good things from the Xenoblade series, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was a true treat that will be a shining star in the Switch's library and in recent JRPGs. Its movie-like story had me hooked on its every twist and turn, invested in a group of unlikely partners, and its vast world and quests made it even richer, with the world feeling like a feast of content and the high quality of it all making me want to eat it all up. From start to finish, its story edged its way into my mind as one that made me consider its themes and world and everything in between that had me gripped until its conclusion, and it has that wonderfully satisfying feeling where I feel like I could be done with it forever right now and still be happy with it, but the fact I can keep going getting classes and meeting heroes in its world is a big treat from such a fantastic game, and its expansion will more than likely be something I play, as if it's half as good as this one, I'm sure it will be brilliant. Looking at Xenoblade Chronicles 3 right now, I'd call it a must-play from this year, and frankly from the Switch's entire library of JRPGs for a story ready to move and engage you at every turn, and it should be considered a masterpiece for the series and games on the handheld that stands out in all the right ways in its moving and fascinating world. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you tried Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and if you have, what did you think of it? You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!